The Zach Taylor era begins in Cincinnati. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the Bengals have a new man calling the shots. Zach Taylor, the second youngest coach in the entire league, as they head to Seattle to take on the oldest coach in the league, Pete Carroll of the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back at halftime with a look at the games in progress. But first, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by are the guys in the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. So happy to be with you, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, and we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And off we go from Seattle. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Ready? 18 Gator.
This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of...
Ready. 70, Indy. Ready.
On second down, here's Mixon. And right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got?
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield.
I'm going to hit you.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Let's put him on the play.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. Myers, the AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago. He was 6 out of 7 from 50-plus last year, and he converts another one here. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
2nd and 3. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Mixon with a first down carry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
While the Bengals struggled in 2018, running back Joe Mixon certainly did not. Over 1,100 yards running the ball, caught 43 passes. Expect both of those numbers to continue to climb in his years in the NFL.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. This is Mixon on the draw. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Now one of the leaders in the Seattle secondary is safety Bradley McDougald. Since the retirement of Cam Chancellor, he's really had to step up and take on a primary role. Excellent against the run, solid in coverage, 2 interceptions in week 1 of 2018, and never looked back.
It's a jet sweep. They get it to Green, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not lapping it off. But he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. After the interception, here's Wilson. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
They were held to a field goal on their first drive. They want 6 now, but it's 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Myers able to knock it through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held him to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. First down, Mixon, and he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Seahawks have picked it up, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Here's Wilson. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. 6-0 our score after 1. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
You got him. You got him.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wilson. He hits his running back, precise. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Here's Procise. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Switch up. At the Bengals 7-yard line.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson. And it's caught. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a first and goal.
Mike 54.
Now it's Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Interception all day, baby.
So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
It's your boy Old Mo, you said. Momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And this one through the uprights and good. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4.
Let's go, fellas.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Oh, fighting off the defender. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down. They'll go jet sweep here with Dorsett, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977, but since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Wilson now 5 for 5 on the drive. He's responded after the interception. It's 1st and 10. Again, Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Going to throw again. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. From 10 yards out. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And he puts this one through as the lead moves to 13-7. A 10-play drive that time. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. He completes it to Boyd. And the ball is knocked out, and the Seahawks have recovered.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. To throw again on second down. Wilson. Philip Dorsett holds it in. But he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now it's Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another shot from the one on 2nd and goal. To throw again is Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead now stands at 13. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Got a man open. It's Ross. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So we're at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. From the 29, Wilson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, The defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll toss it out to Carson. And another tackle broken. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd.
Under 10. Under 10.
Now Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Now here's Michael Dixon. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And some room to maneuver. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on-knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. He'll find Metcalf. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And, boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
And our attention shifts here to the Seahawks defense. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been in the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And able to find Green. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's complete to the tight end Sample. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Boyd. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Looking to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll set up a throw. That's complete. Bernard. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
They're running it.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, here we go.
A draw play for Mixon. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Open man is Higgins. And Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now back to throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
Clear. Get it.
And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That's Jonah Williams, the 11th overall pick back in April. He was actually the first lineman taken. He's a guilty party. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This pass complete to Higgins. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And give him a full 10 yards there. 2nd and goal. 2nd and 5. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. They can't stop Bruce Irvin there as he slips in for the sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw. He's got his man. This is Tate. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter, you're going. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. A 3-yard touchdown pass, and the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Wilson. Pass incomplete. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Wilson. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's taken down inside the 30. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Carson. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run again with Carson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, it's Carson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This to make it a 3-score game late. Myers' kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He's got Green. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Benson Mayowa in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Well, on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. So the victory here for Seattle. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Seahawks, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.